A lot of looming questions for the newspaper industry in the digital age, and if you want to talk to anyone about it, you want to talk to Martin Nisenholtz, Senior Vice President of the New York Times Company's digital operations. Martin, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You've been running digital at the New York Times since 1995, back when the print model was still intact. You've seen so many changes at the Times and in the industry. What surprised you most?
Well, let me start by saying the print model is still very much intact. But to answer your question, I think the thing that surprises me most is just the sheer power of social media in spreading the news. I mean, it's just been an enormous turbocharger on Times content. Tweeted, blogged, Facebooked, whatever. Huge. It's just added millions of new users to the franchise. And I have to say, you know, the first time I saw Google, I knew it was going to be huge, but Twitter, huge surprise. 175 million.
Top newspaper on Twitter.
We are. But it's just added tremendously to our user base. So.
The New York Times moving to a paywall in the first quarter of 2011, going to start charging readers after they read a certain number of articles. You've tried this before and it didn't work. What makes you think it's going to work this time, and what have you learned from models at like the Wall Street Journal and the FT?
Well, actually, we haven't tried it before. The metered model is a new approach. The FT actually has that approach. And as you suggest, it's a certain number of free articles, and then after that it tips into a paywall. And the reason you do that is to keep your big base. You're going to want to keep that big audience of people coming in from Twitter and elsewhere, and you're monetizing the people who are drinking very deeply, using a lot of the content. So it's actually a new model.
Better than Time Select? Do you think this will work better than that?
Time Select was a hard gate on one part of the site. This is a softer gate on the entire site, and I think it'll work. I think and you know what? It's not just about the website anymore. It's about all of the brands where you can read the Times. It's about the website, smartphones, the slates, iPad. So there's a broad. It's a hugely different world than it was, you know, 5 years ago.
Let's talk a little bit about your third quarter earnings. Circulation revenue dropped 4.8%. Ad revenue dropped 1.7%, but digital ad revenue increased 21.6%. Looking at these numbers, how does the New York Times continue to be the New York Times?
Well, the New York Times is obviously making a transition, and as you correctly point out, digital is becoming a larger part of the company over time, and it's a transformational time for all media companies. The Times is just one example of many. So, you know, as digital becomes stronger, you know, that part of the company will grow. As you've seen that happen over the last, you know, several years, digital has become a larger part of the advertising base, but we still have a very, very strong circulation base at the New York Times Company, and obviously a strong base of print revenue as well. All
right, thank you so much. Martin Nisenholtz of the New York Times Company.
Thank you.
Very interesting to see what the future holds for your newspaper.
Thanks so much.